we are going to talk this week
Indeed,
about Loki episode 4, and I'm just going to go right to it. I don't get what some of the complaints are about. In my opinion, Loki episode 4 is the best episode of Loki so far. We don't have to dive in gigantically yet. We'll give them a warning, that there's some spoilers if some people
there are
haven't read it.
spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
Last chance.
Last chance. There you go.
All right.
Get ready, bro.
So what was some things that jumped out at you, Ace, about Loki episode 4? What did you like the most about it?
Well, I have loved Loki as a whole. So I've loved almost every episode. I love the quirky sci-fi. Every episode's kind of ramped up. It's good pacing for the storyline. So we have some the big reveals. I guess the first one we could go into was the cameo. Which, spoiler ahead, guys, if you haven't watched it. Ref earmuffs. We got Sif. Back. Jamie Alexander back in the MCU. Yeah, she purty.
I'm trying to get to that part. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious, and what I don't understand the most is there are a shit ton of complaints about this. And the complaints about this, I don't understand. Okay, I'm just calling out some people, and I'm sorry. I'm to the point where I'm sick of it, and you two don't have to call them out. I can stand on, I got broad shoulders.
I want to stay friends.
But I really, what's up, Sam? How are you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. I really enjoy certain streamers. I mean, it really actually is my day while I'm working, doing some paperwork. It's nice to see some certain streamers stream.
Yeah, I listen to a nice variety.
But to the point that some of them have gotten out of control. And some of them have figured out that they make a lot of money and get a lot of views to be critical all the time. And now they're ramping it up to be critical on everything. I was watching Az. I like Az. I think he brings some really good information. But Az has been on a kick here lately to just trash every single thing about Marvel, DC, comics in general. I have not heard Az say one good thing about anything lately. Not one.
Well, there is one thing, but you're right. He loves Superman and Lois, so that is great.
But when he's saying he loves Superman and Lois, he's cautious still.
Right, it's true.
I mean, but Az is good stuff, and I'm not sitting here trying to slap him, but at the same time, he made this part of Loki that I have up right now that you were just talking about. He made it such a part about female power that they kept going over and over again about kicking Loki or kneeing Loki in the balls, that I don't understand where he's going.
Man, I didn't pick up on that at all. That shows my naivete, because I just thought it was a funny scene of two characters that grew up together, were kids, practically cousins. He pulled a prank on her. She wasn't having it. She kneed him and hit him. I mean, it was funny.
Yes. And I have some cousins that are female. And I'm going to tell you, if the tides were turned in our family and this situation happened, they would kick the shit out of me too. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't get it.
Yeah, okay, so they've went from quality videos about shredding Batwoman, which they should, because it is absolute trash.
And rightfully so.
Garbage.
Not that I not that I say and kiss the ass of everything that we talk about, because we don't.
No, but I mean, that all is, like, if you watch an episode of Batwoman, you're like, whew, how is this on TV? I mean, how does it get renewed for season 3? It's ridiculous. To going to I think a great quality show and shredding it for that, like, well, did you not see the rest of the episode? This was a very compelling, revealing, exciting episode. So, what?
And I'm sorry, I thought this was funny as hell. This is his jail that he is going to.
Right.
And it is over and over and over. And I laughed. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
But, uh,
again, it's like, okay, this is people, we can go on the other side of people being the dreaded SJW word, whatever, and them scrutinizing every little thing about male patriarchy or toxic masculinity, whatever. That's all bullshit too. 100%. That's what most of us are railing against. But now they have become the enemy in a sense. It's like, okay, now you are scrutinizing everything that isn't the opposite of that.
yeah.
So if it doesn't meet your qualities for to have a super strong character in every single scene, then there must be some reason they put that in there. It's another game they're playing. It's like, well, maybe it's just a pretty damn good show.
And like I said, I didn't get that until he said that, and all I did was laugh.
Never would have didn't pick up on it at all.
Sam says SJW in comics has not worked in any media in the past 5 to 10 years ever at all on any level.
Well, you're not wrong, man. And that's probably a whole separate video / conversation to discuss that state of things, because, the SJW, the true SJWs have and are destroying at least Marvel DC. But again, that's a whole nother video, but you're absolutely right.
What did you think about the very beginning when they went back to Asgard for the female Loki or Sylvie? What did you think of that? And obviously there's a connection between her now and the judge.
B-15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I was watching it with my wife. Like, oh, good, we're gonna get to see Asgard. Cool. I was like, oh no, we're getting to see little Sylvie. And then like she says later in the episode, what was my Nexus event? What was so important you took me? And then Ravonna says, I don't remember. And it's like, yeah, I don't think so. So, I mean, it's all very intriguing stuff because, they wipe out an entire timeline when they took her away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like they're committing mass genocide every time they take a variant.
I'm really starting to see. I mean, we were guessing before this happened, though, at the same time that it was getting to the point where they were the bad guy in this.
Yeah.
So we were seeing that, just like we saw that in WandaVision. With the guy I always forgot his name of.
Mephisto?
No, the dude that was in charge of the sword.
Oh, that's right. Now you made me forget his name.
I always forgot, but just like that, we were knowing something was going on, just like we do right here.
Yeah, I mean, they subvert your expectations, and I enjoy that. So, I mean, you kind of saw it coming, but they did it in a really great way.
Mm-hmm.
And, probably someone is out there complaining about Sylvie, how, she'll make Loki look like a fool, which I don't agree with. Or that she's too much about female empowerment, which I don't agree. I like her. You know, so far they haven't made it about her being some wild, crazy, kick-ass female, but which she is. But it's just like, she's a female Loki variant in the story.
I have not felt one time yet that she is over Loki that we know. I haven't felt that way yet in this. In fact, I probably still have Loki over Sylvia. Not by much, but I think he is still up there.
Yeah. And now they keep saying that she's this super dangerous whatever. Well, maybe she is. We don't know why she's so important yet. And I doubt the reason is going to be, because she's a female. Yeah, that's not going to be the answer. So let's wait and see what the reasoning is for making her this great threat, which, again, I just think she's a pretty cool character so far.
Yeah, I agree. Morbius at the middle part of it, he starts questioning some things.
Yeah, I love Owen Wilson. I just really like him. So I was glad to see him back this episode. If there's one minus from the last episode, it's that we didn't have him. So yeah, you can, for whatever reason, he and Loki seem, he likes Loki. You know, he just does. At least this variant of Loki. And when he finally gets Loki and Sylvie back after they almost perished from that planet being destroyed, you can tell like Loki is finally leveling with him. Like, look,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a spoiler, this is a big spoiler. He tells him what Sylvie revealed to Loki is like, you're a variant. You're all variants. Everyone that works here are variants. You had a life.
Can't
Timekeepers.
watch the episode now.
Yeah, you're out. Snooze, you lose, brother.
Well, Sam says he likes actually Sylvie and Loki's dynamic. They're a better duo than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Owen Wilson kills it. I'm so pleased with the show. I agree. I think this has been great.
Sam, I totally agree 100% with what you said. And in fact, we'll see how Loki ends, but for right now, Falcon and Winter Soldier is a distant third in my rating for the first 3 Disney Plus shows or Marvel shows.
I think the only thing that somewhat saves Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and man, I might get crushed for this, but I still think Sebastian Stan, his performance was amazing. And then the hopes of the Thunderbolts. Yeah. That's the only 2 things that can.
Well, and also
John Walker.
The introduction of John Walker, I think, was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
A B character. I don't know. Maybe even a C character.
Never say that, Ref. Never say that.
Okay, B character. B plus. So I think it would be pretty exciting to have. I just get really excited about those smaller.
Oh, they cause me the most excitement aside from Superman. So, but and we won't get on Falcon and Winter Soldier. Just one more point I want to say about that series. And it's yet to be revealed about Loki, but I felt like Falcon and Winter Soldier ended kind of with not a thud, but with a Whereas WandaVision ended so strong, and I feel like Loki is really ramping up. And if it sticks the landing, it's like, man, that's going to be great. Where Falcon just ended in a, okay.
Exactly. And right now, I'm still putting WandaVision ahead of Loki, but I am enjoying Loki. I was worried about Loki, like a lot, but I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I would, to be honest with you.
Well,
yeah, I agree.
I'm taking my personal bias against Loki as a character, in maybe just probably from my comic reading. That there's probably 100 characters I would have put before a Loki show, and I
agreed.
I think Ace and I probably lamented about that when it came out, is like, or when the titles came out, like, God, man, there's a bajillion characters they could have done, but yeah, I mean, you put Owen Wilson in there, Tom Hiddleston is amazing, like, I mean, I don't dislike him in the cinematic universe, but I mean, I would agree after the first episode, me and my grumblings after that first episode, like, I feel like the second and third have been spot on. They don't get my juices pumping for superhero stuff, but it's kind of unique in its own, I think. I think you guys say, is sci-fi.
Sam just made an interesting point, and I think this is a good way to look at it. Out of all the 3 that have been on there so far, he says he's predicting some major awards for Loki. I think WandaVision has a chance for some stuff also, just because of how they did that. But I don't think Falcon and the Winter Soldier has a chance for anything.
No, nor should it. I mean, the quality of Falcon and Winter Soldier is evident, and it's just not quite there. But they're really putting in some good stuff with the other 2.
But don't think like we would normally think in judging a show like this. Falcon and the Winter Soldier had the most obvious SJW lines and themes, so our media is probably going to play that up.
Not wrong. Yeah, well, it will be interesting to see what they do. You're right, and I think for most anyone that can watch all three, whatever you think of the show or the characters, you would have to say like, well, there was more skill behind two of the three as opposed to the third one. But you're right, the one that will probably get the acclaim and the it's so brave and breaking barriers will be Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but we'll see. Time will tell.
All right, so let's push forward. What did you think would happen to Morbius?
Oh my gosh, my wife and I were watching that, and my wife goes, "What? They just killed Owen Wilson!"
Exactly. I mean, all of us thought this, right?
They killed
Yeah.
Owen Wilson?
Sorry,
Oh,
spoiler.
spoiler!
Jesus H.
Hey guys, rewind the.
If you're just
Go back
joining
in
us, we
time.
can't keep saying spoiler every time here.
Yeah. We've got perpetual spoilers for the next few minutes.
Yep, he's dead.
So yeah, I mean that was like, whoa. To backtrack slightly, Mobius finds out that he switches his whatever decoder, I don't know what the hell it is, with Ravonna.
Yep.
And he ends up looking at the footage of that agent who was captured, and Sylvie had revealed her past self to her. And okay, so Loki had said, "Your variants." Now he has the proof. He kind of thought something was up with Loki's statement, and now he believes it. So he goes and gets Loki out of his time loop, and he gets busted, or they get busted by Ravonna, and boom, he's what do they call it?
What do they call
this?
it?
Oh come on, what is it?
What do they call it, Sam? It's
deplatformed.
He got tased, basically. It looks like, but it's
all right. He got tased
combusted
into nothingness.
Yeah. But
that was shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking. And then, were you more shocked what was coming up here pretty quick when they were taking them to jail? I did. Okay, this is another thing that Az complained about when they're, and again, man, I feel like they're trying to figure out ways to complain. And it was just, a little joking thing that Loki said, "Why do I have less security guarding me than Sylvie has?"
Oh, I know, that was so horrible.
But they did. They
funny.
said, that's what he said. He was like, "Yep, see, there it is. They're doing this again."
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I did.
It's just watch the show, man.
So they all go in there and somehow they escape. Sylvia does her thing. They're meeting the time keepers. What'd you think?
I called this next part. I called it. Wizard of Oz.
It was gigantically.
Yeah.
So ruin
Rap's cool,
night
though.
again.
Oh, spoiler! So yeah, they get in there and they fight. Well, no, it looks like they're going to be judged. We finally meet the timekeepers. All three of them are there. We see them in person. They look kind of cool, actually. The first one that's blue, just as a side note, is as how I would have thought Grandmaster should have looked in the Thor movie instead of just Jeff Goldblum. But whatever. So yeah, we don't know what's going to happen to him, but it looks like it's nothing good. And then Judge B-15 comes in, and Sylvie has revealed to her that she's a variant, and she knows it's true. So she comes in and gives them an opportunity to survive. So fighting ensues.
And?
Well, they defeat all the judges, and I don't know, was it Loki or Sylvie who actually threw it was Sylvie, yeah, who threw the sword and chopped off one of their heads, and I don't know if it was Wizard of Oz or Willy Wonka style, but
don't look behind the curtain.
Don't look behind the curtain. Well, the head rolls down the hill, and it's a robot head. It's an animatron. It's an animatron. And at that point, it's like, oh shit.
Some big predictions now, though.
Oh yeah.
Part.
Oh yeah. It's like, okay, all right.
Doesn't this open the door up even more for Kang?
Well, if it isn't Kang, I mean, that would make zero sense.
Do we
So-
have to see Kang and Loki, or are they still going to wait for that on a big movie?
It's a great question. I mean, if he's not visibly seen, it'll be like I don't know, maybe from behind you see him, or someone refers to him as Kang.
Yeah, it could be a Thanos type thing. Like we should. I mean, how many movies
Yeah.
did it take before we
right.
saw old Ball Chin? So
Yeah, Bald Chin did make his bald chin first appearance in Avengers, so but yeah, that was super revealing. But then you're like, okay, the next scene, he's kind of talking to Sylvie and gonna pretty much tell her he's got feelings for her.
Yeah.
And then the unthinkable happens.
Boom! Right in the back.
Right in the back, Loki is
Dead.
deplatformed. He's deplatformed from social media.
Just like Mobius.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, Loki's been disintegrated, so obviously Mobius isn't dead. There's no way Loki isn't.
Did you think
Loki's
that right
dead.
away, or did you have any feeling at all?
I was 90% sure Loki's not dead. I'm like, no, they're not going to go that far. They're not going to make Sylvie the star of, even though she's a Loki. They're just not going to do that. So.
Okay. Sam says, "Don't start that. Last time everyone was looking for Mephisto and Nightmare. Don't start that speculation on Kang."
No, I know we shouldn't. This one just is so in your face, but you might be right. You check your expectations. So then, after that, what do we got? Was that the end?
That was the end. Basically, there was a fight. Was there anything right after Loki did that? I think there was. Yeah, there was another fight where she could have done the same thing to the judge.
Yes.
But she didn't.
Yes. And then that was the end of the episode.
That was the end.
We have
Or
a
was it?
post-credit scene. We've got a post-credit scene.
And it's
Yes.
Loki waking up. And I was surprised that he said, first thing, am I in hell?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, does Asgard have hell?
Yeah.
I guess they do.
That's what I was sort of.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
This was super exciting. Boom, we've got. Well, I guess if someone wants to help out, I'm honestly not sure who that fella on the left is.
With the hammer?
I guess he's a Black Thor.
I think he's a Loki variant.
It makes more sense to have 3 Lokis there, because then we finally got Kid Loki. Finally, we got Kid Loki, who I think is going to stick around. And then this one threw me, though. We have a 60s, 70s classic era Loki, like the older, because Loki was always drawn as looking kind of old, like in the John Buscema, John Buscema era. You're like, Loki was drawn kind of ugly. He was the bad guy. He was supposed to not look as handsome as Thor. He looked like a older, kind of just ugly guy, and this is exactly that. So I was like, wow, that was a hell of an ending. Hell of an ending.
The old dude is so funny because of his look on his face, and the yellow spandex looks just like basically Depends. I mean, it is horrible looking, and
I love it.
if you notice in the background behind him, and I don't know if you noticed it, do you notice what building that is?
I didn't, man. I've only seen it once. I need to go back.
It's the Avengers Tower.
It
all
is
crushed.
okay.
Like, everything in the background is vandalized basically and falling apart.
Well, so we saw a quick scene in one of the Loki trailers of just the Avengers Tower destroyed. So this must be that. Okay.
This is where they are then.
Yeah. So this is going to be real interesting to find out what this is. So
we got 2 episodes left.
We have 2 episodes left.
And
let me add.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and take him with a huge grain of salt, but.
Oh, no. You're sounding like somebody else now.
Well, I know. But, Geekosity, Mikey Sutton, I mean, he swears that he got, look, he goes, look, man, I was given some video footage from one of my sources. There's no context for it. It's just, I saw it. They sent it to me over the phone. It's Owen Wilson spouting lines on set, and he's talking about Kang. And it made it sound like he was Kang.
Really?
He goes, I don't know. He goes, I don't know what that is, what it means, but I saw the video footage. Does it make the cut? I don't know, but I saw it.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, maybe he's talking. I don't know. I mean, we know Kang is like a minimum of 4 different characters in the Marvel Universe, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Now, the rumor I heard, and you can tell me if you've heard this or you're saying differently, but Loki is one of the only ones that has already had a second season signed.
You know what? I don't know that it's been official now.
Okay,
but
but that's what the rumor is.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the rumor is that Loki, like no one said WandaVision's getting a second season. It's like there may be a spiritual sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier where it's Winter Soldier and something else. It may be called Nomad. Yeah, I've heard Loki is gonna have a season 2, so we'll see.
And then the other crazy rumor, and Grace actually is one that said this, that she thinks Owen Wilson is just another Loki variant. And that's why he is in charge of always finding all these Loki variants.
It could be. It could be. I just think he's, you know how he's all fixated on the jet skis in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he's a variant from the 90s. They plugged him out of that time, and those are things that he loved from his life. But he could also be a variant of Loki, so that could be interesting.
All right. You got anything else on this one?
No, I mean, I'm loving Loki. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I know Tom Hiddleston said that this episode and episode 5 really changed things up, and he was excited to see the fans' reaction to these next 2 episodes. So I think episode 5 is going to be another game changer.
Sam can't stand Grace. He says,
yeah, she's a
different cat.
She's boy. I sometimes hate watch her, but anyway. Hey, one last little thing about Loki. Did you catch the throwaway line where Owen Wilson says, you know, we've had gods, titans, and vampires, so we're like, vampires are
Guess
coming.
Who's coming?
Yeah, vampires are on their way.
And by the way, this is way off the deep end, but I don't think they would have done this if it wasn't going to happen soon. I sent you that video of all the new Fortnite skins for Marvel, and Blade was one of them.
Yeah, Blade has got to be. They have to announce a date soon. For
Ghost Rider was one.
Yeah, I think Ghost Rider's going to be a Disney Plus thing, and Blade's going to be a feature thing. So, we'll see, man. I'm excited, but yeah, Loki's a thumbs up for me so far. So
I love it.
Can't wait for next week. Yeah.
If you have enjoyed what you have watched, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you check out our other videos. Thank you.